Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, Monday morning, back at the polderbaan. Arrivals, as you guys can see. Got Ryanair arriving from Dublin in the foreground. Two more airplanes visible in the background. Two 737-800s, including the first one. And an A330 from Turkish arriving from Istanbul is number 3. It's nice and sunny, albeit a bit hazy. The high pressure area still very much active. But more moisture in the air is definitely a thing. You can see contrails and contrail remnants. We have wind that has changed and is now blowing from the southwest. And it's not going to get as warm today anymore as it did yesterday and the days before. Overnight and tomorrow the cooling will really begin. And that will go hand in hand with some precipitation. Not today though, or at least not during the day, maybe overnight. So for now, for the upcoming hours, we are going to be good over here. At the moment, polderbaan is the only runway used for arrivals. Center and left are being used for departures. Standard procedure that we've seen all week, last week. Got an Embraer 190 going to Trondheim flying over us, departing. And we have Georgian Airways arriving from Tbilisi, 737-800, flight 9651, touching down after 4 hours and nearly 45 minutes of flight. And this 737 is 14 years old, sorry. Plan today is to stick around until the A380, which is probably going to land on center. We have two 747s underway, at least airborne, that are expected, I think, around 11 and 12:30. In the meantime, goedemorgen, AM van der Linden, Vasil, good morning, Janet, good morning. Ready to board on KL1009. Too bad that departures are not taking place from polderbaan this morning. Leen, goedemorgen. Dutchie Dexis, good morning. BN Dutch, good morning. Nigel, good morning and good evening to you, buddy. Hey Lasse, goedemorgen. Sander, goedemorgen. Murray, good morning. Here we have Turkish Airlines, flight 1951, Airbus A330-300, arriving from Istanbul, 3 hours exact. The flight time. Not the loudest A330 we've heard, so they could have done better. Plenty of birds, as you guys can see. Haven't seen the bird controller yet. Now there's also some activity over here in the water. Ducks, yes. And a murmuration of birds flying away from the runway area, or are they? No, don't return. Yes, go that way, to the right. No, not back, not back. What are you guys doing? You're making me seasick. Okay, well, now the group has been scattered. It seems that a big part is still over there in the grass, or, well, looks like they are about to settle in the grass. Russell, also back, or I should say never gone. His bro, making a little noise. Also, Ekut. Is there one? I think for now there is only one. And we've got a squatter. Thought that the lanterns belonged to the crows, but apparently not. A320 arriving from London Gatwick, British Airways, but flown by Avion Express Malta. A very inspiring livery. Reflections, but there is the next airplane coming up. A big bird arriving from Aguadilla, Emirates Sky Cargo, flight 9916, Boeing 777 freighter, 1 year old, first flight June 2022, flight time right now 8 hours and 6 minutes. Tina, good morning. Jonathan, goedemorgen. Pop Transit, good morning, goedemorgen. Ronnie, goedemorgen. Anne, goedemorgen. Ronald, goedemorgen. Paul, goedemorgen. John Freddy, good morning. Mario, goedemorgen. Hey there, Lena, goedemorgen. Eversteria, goedemorgen. Vinny TV Adventures, goedemorgen. Jin, good morning. Aloha. Josegi, good morning. Hey there everyone. That's a good name. Hey Greet, Patrick, Han, goedemorgen allemaal. Barry, good morning. Hope everybody is doing alright. Monday Morning Mayhem. Andy, good morning. Hey Peter, goedemorgen. Lieve, goedemorgen kerel, hoe is het? Hey Big Al, good morning buddy. Back at the regular spot with all the birds included. Now, what's that shuddering you see? It is wind causing the footage to shudder a little bit. Wind has increased, definitely. Or at least, I should say, there is wind at least. Unlike the previous 2 days. You can see the smoke and the wind is blowing from the southwest, so it is blowing away from us. That means there's a little bit of crosswind from the right for the airplane's landing. It is the most commonly prevailing wind, southwest over here. Also, Due to the increase in moisture or humidity, contrails definitely better visible than they have been over the last couple of days. This is a twin jet that I think might be on the way to Frankfurt, coming from the northwest, flying to the southeast. Maybe a bit more eastish than southish. Oh, and there's a quad jet. Oh, a conjunction. Let me see if I can capture it for you guys. Boom, 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 boom. Damn it. Quick. Too far zoomed in. Damn it. They're already a bit further. Here we go. Have to zoom out even for the conjunction. The moment has passed already. Too bad. Twin in the bottom and a quad in the top. So let's zoom in, have a look at the quad. Let me also stand up a little bit more. In the meantime, we hear an EasyJet land on Polderaan. Well, is it a quad or is it a tri-jet? The quad is flying more to the southeast, and the twin jet that earlier was visually below it is flying more to the east. Well, I cannot see any details. I mostly see the reflection of my face due to the sun shining on it. Oh, and we also have a nice contrail that is coming from behind twin jet. Once it passes through the zenith, moving away from me, I can beautifully film it. Let me have a look. This is as high as the camera will go. How far zoomed? Oh, this is too far zoomed out. Let's go to the middle of the zoom range. Hopefully then I can pick it up. It is flying directly over me right now. Beautiful. Hopefully it comes in view on its own. Yeah, there it is. Cool. There you go. Just passed directly over me and is moving to the east. Awesome. So it's a good day to look at contrails. That's at least something we can establish. In the meantime, good morning to all other viewers who have joined. Tadesh, Camille, Gosse, Aldo, Mario, Blackburst, Harry, Tiger, me, myself, Peter P. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody. Hey Gerrit, goedemorgen. Jons, goedemorgen. Good morning. And Wizz Air. Cool. Now this is not Wizz Air, this is Air Canada. It is flight 808. Arriving from Toronto, YYZ. This airplane is a 777-200 long range. Has been on the way now for 6 hours and 16 minutes. 15-year-old airplane, first flight January 2008. Not sure if the firefighters already did their patrol this morning. There were firefighter trucks out, but I haven't seen them depart, nor have I heard them, didn't see them pass by. So I'm not sure if they already did their round, if they are still going to do their round, and if their round is going to be around the Polderbaan perimeter or maybe go to the other side. Now, the birds in the meantime are moving and are now nestling over on this side. Also in the foreground, huddled together, the ducks. Not sure what they are eating, grass, insects, something else. Now let's have a look. Osprey northeast and another one coming up from the west. I am absolutely seeing nothing. Let's focus on what we can see over here. And that is this Embraer 175 arriving from Prague, and there's an Embraer 190 somewhere behind it arriving from London City. Not seeing the Embraer 190 yet. Right, got an Embraer 190 coming up next, and after that, somewhere in the distance, a 777 should be turning onto the glide slope. Let's see on, let me crouch behind, oh yeah, I can see it in the bottom left coming in from the left hand side, nice. 777. Hey there, Jackie. Hey there, Dale. Good morning. Embraer 190 in the foreground. Speedbird arriving from London City. KLM 777 behind it. 777-200 if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back to Flight Radar, have a look. 777-200 arriving from Johannesburg. And behind it, an A319 should be entering from the left as well. Will we be able to see it before the Embraer leaves the view? Guess not. Pity. Right. Now, all flights between London and Amsterdam on average 40 minutes or so. This one no exception, 39 minutes. Embraer 190 long range, 11 years old. Had its first flight in the year 2012 in April. Hey there, John. Hey there, Daniel. And Shanukani, good morning. Checking in from Johannesburg. Well, as it happens, the next airplane is arriving from Johannesburg. KLM Flight 592, 777-200 ER. Has been flying now for 10 hours and 23 minutes to get from Johannesburg to where it is right now. 19-year-old airplane. And the first flight of this airplane was in September 2003. And John, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. We've got a nice refreshing breeze over here, so very well doable over here. Lisette, goedemorgen. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Behind the triple, we have an A319 from EasyJet that is coming back from London Gatwick. Meanwhile, a great many birds have been flocking together here just behind where the birds are, right on the other side of the water from where I'm standing. Now, as long as they're going to stay over there. Oh, damn it. Well, at least they're staying on the right side of the runway. Oh, and now they're over on the right. Oh, they're coming towards me. And back where they began just now. Yeah, the ducks find it amusing as well. This one in particular had to laugh hard. Quack, 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 quack. Indeed. Yeah, and where is the yellow pickup truck when you need it? That's a good question. If anybody knows the answer, I'm not seeing it. Haven't seen it, in fact, since I have arrived over here on the scene. Also got a gentleman duck in the water, a bit further upstream. Quack. Casually saying hi. Got an A319 coming in from EasyJet, arriving from London Gatwick, and behind that we are going to see Delta Airlines flight 74, which is an A350 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Right. A350 time. Delta Airlines flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Flight time 7 hours and 25 minutes as we speak. A 7-year-old airplane that had its first flight in March 2016. I'm having a look behind me. See if maybe I see a yellow pickup truck patrol somewhere, but they're nowhere to be seen. Maybe there's a duck emergency on the other side of the airport and then require all vehicles to be dispatched to that location. Hey there, Evan. What is up, my man? Top of the morning to you too, buddy. Catching up on the stream. Well, awesome. The stream hasn't been on that long, so you should be caught up quite quickly. Hey Wendy, goedemorgen. Hier alles lekker. Nice and sunny and a bit of a refreshing breeze. Can't complain. Hope the same is going for you over there in the north. Hey Samantha, goedemorgen. Sakalan, good morning. All other viewers who have joined us in the meantime, good morning to you too. You're watching arrivals on Polderbaan over here at AMS Live. With the first A350 of the day having arrived. From Atlanta, Georgia. Now, got a climbing biz jet. Say what? There is a climbing biz jet going to Manchester. Should be moving from right to left somewhere over here. Of course, not producing a control yet. Just seeing if I can see it visually, but no luck. Contrails still very much visible. Let's see, this is too far zoomed out, going to the mid zoom range, and there we go. Twin jet moving from east to west, north of me. Just a little bit east of me still, but approaching the point where it is directly north of me. We actually have quite a few contrails, but they're all looking in bright sunlight can trigger sneezes, as a lot of you will probably know. Was looking behind me to see what we could see in terms of contrails. Got one moving away from me to the southeast, got a few further out, more towards the sun. That's already in the east of the country. We do have one moving from, what is it, southwest to northeast, I think it is. Let's see, probably a bit higher then. Or is it a bit further? No, have to be a bit more. No. There, no. Huh. Okay, well, never mind. Let's just focus on what we can see best. Got an Embraer 190 arriving from Brussels. And somewhere further up north from the right, there is an A320 flying to the glide slope. Not sure if we are able to see it in the same shot though, as the Embraer 190 arriving from Brussels is already nearby. Got an A220 flying to Tallinn from Air Baltic. Which you probably picked up on the mic. Good morning, Mrs. Professor. It is a relatively clear day over here. We do have some high clouds. There's also moisture in the upper atmosphere. It is the last day of warm weather. As of tomorrow, things will get cooler. We'll also get some precipitation, if not overnight, then at least tomorrow. Get rid of the warmth. So there is more moisture in the air already. Contrails quite well visible. Contrail remnants as well. But overall it is mostly sunny, with mostly blue skies over here indeed. Got a little bit more wind than we did yesterday. Wind direction has also changed. We had easterly wind, southeasterly wind yesterday, and today the wind is blowing from the southwest. Which is nice and refreshing. Hey Belinda, goedemorgen. Ian, good morning. Okay, some ducks have splashed into the water, going for a refreshing swim. In the meantime, Lufthansa flight 2302 is coming closer by, and it is an A320 arriving from Munich in the Star Alliance livery. Flight time 1 hour and 3 minutes as we speak. A 9-year-old airplane that had its first flight in January 2014. Johanna, goedemorgen. Checking in from the northeast of the country, Drenthe. So there is a little bit of crosswind from the right for the pilots. If they are crabbing, they are pointing a little bit towards us with their nose, as you guys can see. It's only a handful of knots. So I'm not expecting any go-arounds, at least not due to windy conditions. Maybe because the runway wasn't vacated in time. I think that happened over the weekend once. But not because of stormy conditions or wind gusts or wind shear or whatever can necessitate a go-around. Now, it's all quiet over here. We have one person, I think, sitting over there. We have a car that tried to drive onto the cycling path, it seems like. And no yellow pickup trucks to be seen. All is quiet at the fire station, it seems like. Does seem to be less hazy than it was yesterday. Yesterday standing closer to the original ATC tower, and it did look more vague than it does now. Let's turn around the camera back to the north. We got two airplanes coming in. A320neo arriving from Birmingham, EasyJet number 1. Number 2, an E2 Embraer 195 from KLM arriving from Berlin in the top left. And good morning, Gregory, Peter, good morning, Kevin, good morning, Nelly, goedemorgen. Hope everybody is doing alright on this sunny Monday morning, or at least in the Netherlands it is a sunny Monday morning. Arrivals at Polderbaan, runway 18 right. At the moment the only runway in use for arrivals. However, I am expecting runway 18C to be used a couple of times as a secondary runway for arrivals later in the morning. More specifically, around the time the A380 is expected to arrive, more than likely going to be open. Got another contrail coming directly towards me, twin jet, moving from west to east, will come directly over me in a few moments. Hey! I'm hearing stuff. Someone is celebrating New Year's Eve. What do you know? They are there after all. That's reassuring. Now also almost there is the Embraer, the E2 Embraer. So let's have a look and see it land first. Coming in from Berlin. Paul, Dave, good morning. Indeed, Gregory, lekker weer. Enjoy it while we still can. In a few weeks from now, we'll be complaining that our hands are getting cold and it never stops raining and it's always grey and depressing out there. Got an A319 arriving from Prague behind me. Looks like the bird controller is coming towards us. Might also look like wind is picking up a little bit. The smoke from the chimneys a bit more horizontal than they were earlier. And here we have an EasyJet A319 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Flight 27926. The airplane 14 years old. First flight September 2009. Flight time 1 hour and 6 minutes. Ah, Big Al has to go again. Thanks for joining, Big Al. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak soon. Take care. Flat infinite plane Earth. Good morning. Bird controller taking its time. Is that a predator bird? I think it might be. Not of the hovering type, at least. And that was an A320 from EasyJet, from British Airways, that has just landed, arriving from London Heathrow. Let's turn around. We've got a flying AMS Live logo coming in. All the way from San Francisco. This is United Airlines Flight 968, a 7879 Dreamliner, the mid-sized version. Again, San Francisco is where it's coming from. Another airplane in the big behind it, coming from the right, flying base to the glide slope. That is probably an A319 from Croatia Airlines, arriving from Zagreb. This Dreamliner arriving from San Francisco, on the way now for 9 hours and 23 minutes, and the airplane is 7 years old. First flight was in November of the year 2015. And that was K3. In the Raptor Ranger, doing a drive-by. Looking up in the sky. Let me show you the big picture. This is looking to the north. This is looking to the west. This is looking to the east. You can see a few contrails here and there. A few contrail remnants. And this is the south. Quad jet just moving away from me. Let's have a look. Where is it? There we go. Now, I only see the contrails. I'm not seeing anything other than that. Looks like it is on the way to Frankfurt, or at least to the southeast. Lufthansa has just touched down. Hey, look, it's me favorite dickhead. What's going on, Alvin? You fair dinkum legend. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Sarah M, good morning. Captain Eddie Boss, good morning, or I should say good evening to you, buddy. Hope all is well. Right, it's getting a bit more busy. Croatia Airlines, flight 450, arriving from Zagreb. Airbus A319, flight time 1 hour and 37 minutes. 25-year-old airplane already. First flight May 1998, millennial. Croatian butt shot incoming. I'm doing well, Alvin. Thank you for asking. Sven, goedemorgen. Frank, good morning. Or Frank. And Mrs. Professor said that the quad was a Lufty 747, indeed headed to Frankfurt. Got 2 more airplanes visible already, at least nearby. There we go. Embraer 190 arriving from London City, BA City Flyer. Behind it, 777-300ER arriving from Cape Town. Behind it is going to be an E2 Embraer 195. Hey there, LSCA, good morning. E2 visible just a little lower and left of the triple. In the foreground, BA City Flyer arriving from London Gatwick, Embraer 190, Speedbird flight 8451. Flight time 38 minutes. 13-year-old airplane, first flight February 2010. Right. Arriving from Cape Town, South Africa, KLM flight 598, 777-300ER, flight time 11 hours and a minute. 11 years old, this airplane, first flight May 2012. Hey Lance, good morning mate. Hope all is well. Got some more contrails over here going on. 2 airplanes visible in the distance. E2 Embraer 195 coming in first, and behind it is Tarom. Today flying the 737-800 and not the A318. Got several airplanes coming over. One is passing right over me. Seems like it is just turning around the corner. Twin jet. Flying west to east. Just a little north of me. And a little bit more north and still a bit more to the west. Another one that I am not capturing, so let's go back down to the E2 then. Also an E2, but you could also see how the fans were spinning nicely yesterday when the landing airplanes passed over, particularly the one with the higher bypass ratio, such as the E2. It was beautiful to see. If you missed that, definitely look that back. Absolutely worth looking at. Yeah, the birds are still here. They are still here. Now over to the field on the left of me, that's good. If they stay there, that's okay. Daarom, 737-800 arriving from Bucharest, the daily flight. And behind it we have a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena. I think most of us will agree that the A318 is nicer due to its stubby appearance. 737-800s are so abundant, so prevalent. It's always nice to see something that you don't see every day. Right, next up KLM flight 747. Which of course is not a Boeing 747 but a Boeing 7879. But that's logical, isn't it? Arriving from Cartagena, flight time 9 hours and 15 minutes. 5-year-old airplane, first flight, January 2018. Big engines, big reversers, big potential, and just so little is used. Alright, next up is going to be ITA Airways. Also have a little contrail moving northwest of me from west to east. Can I show you guys? That is a twin by the looks of it, twin jet. Flying west to east, north of me and still west of me. Also got something really close by. For reference, this is almost directly to the west, a little bit more to the north. Oh, I'm too. And then to the right, there we go. Another twin jet. Further west, less north. Oh. Italian butt shot coming in. A320 arrived just from Milan. And the 7879 in the background on its way back to the gate. Hey Jerry, good morning. Good to see you again, buddy. Hope all is well. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, welcome to you too. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan runway 18 right. Currently the only runway in use for arrivals. They're landing from north to south and we have wind blowing from the southwest. So there's a little bit of crosswind from the right for the airplanes that are landing. Visibility is good. More moisture in the upper atmosphere, so contrails are visible quite well today. Let's see, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 contrails in the air at once. There's one coming towards me from the west, north, east, northeast, and I'm not sure if that is a quad jet. So as it comes closer, I will have a look up and see what it is. Right now, this is KLM flight 1126, arriving from Copenhagen, Boeing 737-800. Flight time 1 hour and 6 minutes. The airplane 16 years old. First flight February 2007. Meanwhile, we have some quackers over here in the water. Okay, well, that airplane that is approaching is a twin jet by the looks of it. Has come a bit closer in the meantime. Oh, let me go back to manual focus. There we go. Another KLM 737. A 700 that is approaching, has landed from Zurich, Switzerland. Stubby little airplane with big tail. Now that airplane that was approaching from the northeast, flying to the southwest, I think is a twin. Yeah, that is a twin jet. Will pass just north of me by the looks of it. Let's have a look at this. A TUI Dreamliner arriving from Kudos, Boeing 787-8. Flight 356, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao in the Caribbean Sea. Flight time 8 hours and 52 minutes. Belgian registered 8-year-old airplane, had its first flight in 2015 in January. right. Jon says that the Queen from Saudia is nearly over Enschede. That is good news. We have 2 Queens inbound expected to arrive before the A380 will. One from Saudia and the other I don't remember anymore. The one was expected around 11 o'clock and the other I think was around 12:30. Definitely a bit more wind. Hey, interesting. 777 arriving from Singapore, from KLM, also coming to the glide slope. Cannot recall having seen that recently when standing at Polderbaan in the morning. Also the wind is picking up a little bit. Let me see if I can quickly go to the laptop, fix the ticker with the latest weather. Always a race against the clock. Flight radar. Click any airplane. METAR. Copy paste. Close Safari. Go to the ticker. Paste. Edit font size. So the wind has picked up 9 knots and is from 270 degrees. So we have direct crosswind. The wind is blowing perpendicularly to the runway heading. 9 knots. So that is why this airplane is pointing towards us and is moving right of us. It is crabbing a little bit, and for the first time in a week you can also see that the footage is a bit shuddery again. Has to do with the wind and also with the direction of the wind. Also the camera angle versus the wind. The wind has more effect on during certain angles than during others. Alright, 737-800 arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle next, and after that a few heavies. To begin with an A330 from Delta. So if there's one airplane type and one airliner that can make a lot of noise, it is Deltas and A330s. Or at least I should say Delta A330s. Potentially. Have to see if they can live up to the expectation. Hey Remco, Frank, goedemorgen. Everybody else who has joined us in the meantime, welcome. There you go, arrivals, Polderbaan. Crosswind from the west. The wind is blowing with 9 knots from the west. And we have Delta A330 coming in. And a nice glide slope shot. Which might be a cue for some viewers to take a glide slope shot. This is Delta Airlines Flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis in Minnesota. Airbus A330-300. Flight time 7 hours 16 minutes. The airplane 16 years old. First flight was in January 2007. So the two things to look and listen for, the wheelie and the reverser. The wheelie was not there, hardly any wheelie, and it also was not the loudest. I think they did reverse a little, but did apply the reverser a little bit, but not to a great extent. Stone Slab occupied. Very popular place to hang out for the birds that are living here. Got our next big bird coming in. It is arriving from Singapore, which is interesting. Don't see that flight a lot. Is it delayed? I don't know. KLM flight 836. And this airplane has been flying now for 12.5 hours. 10,500 kilometers. One of the furthest removed destinations from Amsterdam, I think, that you can fly to directly. 12-year-old airplane, first flight January 2011. Singapore, Jakarta, Buenos Aires, Rangkemang, Lima. Those are, I think, the furthest destinations that you can fly to. Directly at least. Right, Robert saw the Saudi 747 pass. That is good news. It is underway. Ah, JR Tom says it's 2 hours and 46 minutes late. Yeah, that figures. Normally, we don't get to see this airplane. We have another departure. Is that a SkyTeam livery? No. Right, now, next up, Airbus A320, arriving from Geneva. Flight time, 1 hour and 14 minutes. Airplane is a year old, first flight July 2022. Again, this airplane too has the potential to create some gnarly reverser noise. You always see the slots open, but most of the landings over here are idle reverse landings, unfortunately. Now it looks like runway center has also opened up. I can see an airplane on flight radar and also behind me center. That might also mean that the Saudia 747 is going to land on center. That probably is going to mean it will land on center. So that is a bit unfortunate. Here we have an A321 from Aegean. Flying in from Athens. Has taken this airplane so far 3 hours and 3 minutes to get here. The airplane is 14 years old. Its first flight April 2009. Alright, Lieve has to go. See you later. Back in about an hour. Well, that is still in time for the A380. I think that is expected in, what is it? It's now 10 to 11. So that's in 2.5 hours from now? No, 1.5 hours. No? Well, it's almost 11, 12, yeah. 2 hours from now? Sally the seagull, basking in the sun. Hey Afrodite, goedemorgen. And the A380 expected 1:20 p.m. Thank you, Sander. So that is 2.5 hours from now. I'm bad at math. 2.5 hours, I think, from now. Got an A320 from Air Malta coming in. Arriving from Malta. We'll be panning to the right in a minute. Air Malta flight 394. And you guessed it, it is arriving from Malta. Thus far, its journey has taken 2 hours and 43 minutes. The airplane is 4 years old. Had its first flight in July 2019. So yeah, if you just tuned in, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan runway 18 ride. At the moment, one of 2 runways used for arrivals. Which means I also have to update the ticker in terms of the runway usage. We have wind blowing from the west. These airplanes are landing from north to south. That means that there is wind perpendicular to the runway. All wind is crosswind. Although the wind direction is varying a little between northwest and southwest. Bird control vehicle also once again present. Let me quickly go to the laptop and adjust the runway usage. Same configuration as we've seen over the last couple of days. I think it is, what is it? It is the 11th, right? So today and tomorrow, the last days that Kaagbaan runway 0624 will be closed for maintenance. At least I have not read any notifications that they're getting delayed. So I'm assuming that as of Wednesday, normal operations will resume again. The only difference when the wind is blowing the way it is today will be then that Kaagbaan will be open for departures. Center runway will still be used as a secondary runway for arrivals, but in the moments it's not used for arrivals, it will then stay closed most likely. Which is also why going back to where I was streaming from yesterday and on Friday will not be, as we're seeing, the bar being set for the wheelie of the day. Holy cow. Still up, eh? Oh boy. Boom. That was a... We already have the winner. There's no one, I can tell that with near 100% certainty, no one is going to surpass that today. That was an absolute stunner. Might have to make a separate video of that. The wheelie of the day, new record for an Embraer. I think it's even longer than the other one I made a short video on, about. And that is ITA Airways. Landing on center. Now, also have a contrail coming this way, just north of me. Moving from east to west, north of me. Now, having passed to the west of me. Also a little bit from north to south. Obviously a twin jet. Hard to make out more details than that for me. It's almost near its point, the point that it's closest to me. So it's not going to get much bigger than it is right now. And I think they are doing a runway inspection of sorts, seeing if I can spot the bird control vehicle. I cannot. I do see a tractor in a field creating a little bit of dust behind it. Hey, is that the light blue vintage tractor that we have also sometimes seen pass by on the cycling path? Let me have a look on the big screen behind me on the laptop. Could be. Could be. Alright, got another airplane coming this way. Iberia Express. Arriving from Madrid. Flight 3722, which is an Airbus A320. Flight time 1 hour and 58 minutes. 10-year-old airplane, first flight August 2013. And also thank you so much, Mark SRT Wolf, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines, buddy. Thank you so much. Then he was trying to look for me on a Tuesday and Saturday, but wasn't able to find me. Well, on Tuesdays you can never find me over here, nor on Wednesdays, and I don't know what I was doing on Saturday. Normally, most of the time I am over here, though not always. Also very much weather dependent. And indeed, Frank, that tractor was too slow for takeoff. Hey, what is that? It is departing and it is moving away from us. Delta A330. Alright, well, In the meantime, the Saudia 747 is approaching runway center. It is Saudia Cargo flight 933, Boeing 747-400, BDSF. Where did it go? Oh, it's more over there. A 28-year-old airplane that had its first flight in January 1995. Too bad no 747s arrived on 18C yesterday. That would have been a nice bonus. Now the A380 landing and passing by just a few meters over you is exciting enough as it is. But wouldn't it have been awesome to see an airplane such as this pass over you just a few meters away? But yeah, I think you do get to see airplanes land on this runway from over here better than the other way around. Although she's also in the way over here. But you do get to see the roll out. Right, let's have a look. I did see the bird control vehicle pass by just now as the Saudia was passing by. It has the lights on, so I think it is doing a runway inspection. Also seeing a TUI Dreamliner arriving from Bonaire, now going to the center runway. So they are doing a little runway inspection for Polderbound right now. And Jerry, thank you so much for the super chat, saying the wheelie pilot kept the speed up to go that long. I'm sure he did. He would have lost speed due to the traction, the friction of the wheels. Otherwise, I think he might have seen me and figured, let's give the viewers a little show, shall we? That definitely looked like someone who kept up the throttle a little bit. Right. An airplane that, normally speaking, we should see land on this runway because it is coming in from the west. TUI Dreamliner coming home from Bonaire, flight 703. Flight time nearly 9 hours, 8 hours and 53 minutes. The airplane is 8 years old. Its first flight was in November 2014. And goedemorgen Leo. And all other viewers who have joined us in the meantime. Hope everybody is doing alright. We have traffic coming to Polba once again. Let's have a look, shall we? This is an A320 from EasyJet arriving from London Luton. Flight 22515. Flight time 37 minutes. The airplane is 12 years old. Its first flight was in May 2011. Got an Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich that is supposed to be behind it somewhere. Though I'm not seeing it on my screen ridden with reflections. Right, two airplanes visible. Embraer 175 in the foreground. KLM flight 1516 is that. Arriving from Norwich. Short flight, 30 minutes. 5-year-old airplane. First flight April 2018. Behind it we have a Dreamliner from KLM flight 696 arriving from Toronto, Canada. Underway now for 6 hours and 19 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old. Its first flight August 2017. And another Embraer 190 arriving from Dublin should be somewhere behind it. Can we see it already? Looking on my laptop screen, I'm not seeing it just yet. Hey there JD, good morning. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. And a little Embraer butt shot is incoming. Right, next up KLM flight 696 arriving from Toronto, Canada. It is a 7879 Dreamliner. Flying now for 6 hours and 21 minutes for this flight. Has been flying now for 6 years. First flight of this airplane was in August of the year 2017. Hey there, Colin Mac. Good morning. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Ooh, looks like we might have a quad engine coming this way. Let's have a look, shall we? Is that a quad arriving from... Oh no, it is a twin. Arriving from the direction of Frankfurt, southeast. It was so clearly visible, so contrasty against the blue sky backdrop. But it is in fact a twin by the looks of it. I am already fully zoomed in. Flying mostly east of me, a little bit southeast of me. Looks like it is going to pass north of me eventually. Alright, let's swivel the camera screen. Yeah, still hard for me to see any details other than it being a twin jet. Not seeing a lot of the airplane itself. Mostly following the contrail as it forms. Right, time to zoom out again, go back to what is going on ground level. Arriving from Dublin, Ireland, KLM flight 934. Flight time 1 hour and 7 minutes. Dreamliner. Alvin yells, okay. 787 to Vancouver, Air Canada, Frank says. Alright. And hey there, Janus Triple X, who is tuning in from Athens in Greece. Welcome to the show, buddy. We've got a Boeing 737-800 up next, and after that it is playtime. So members, get out your playtime emojis. It is time once again. This is KLM flight 1422 737-800 arriving from Birmingham. Flight time 46 minutes. 12-year-old airplane, first flight May 2011. More contrails in the vicinity of the sun, and there was a little airplane coming this way also. There's also one behind me with the sun not shining against me, makes it a bit easier to see. You can see more details on that side of the sky. Passing from west to east, south of me. Also, let's not forget this red airplane, which is from Play A321 Neo flight 460, daily flight between Reykjavik and Amsterdam. Well, near daily. We did miss it 1 or 2 times over the weekend. A321neo, flight time 2 hours and 38 minutes. 5-year-old airplane, bright red, it's playtime. Hey Jean-Yves, salut mon ami. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Indeed, Frank, it is a play, boy. Now, in the meantime, those birds are chilling and relaxing. Got some airplane noises from airplanes passing over me. And this is JetBlue. Is this JetBlue? It is JetBlue, arriving from New York, JFK. Now it is the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a quick look on my laptop. Yes, it is the 11th, so that means in 10 days from now, JetBlue will also start flying from Boston to Amsterdam. Their second flight. Now we have another contrail moving from west to east. This one is flying north of me, still a bit west of me. It looks like a big airplane. Let me put it in the left hand side of the screen and let go of the controls, have a quick look myself. Oh, that looks like an Emirates A380. If I just have a quick peek on the laptop screen, see what you guys are seeing in more detail. Cool. Not seeing anything of the sort coming towards me right now. Hopefully later we can catch a break and see one up close. Next up, Embraer 175 arriving from Luxembourg. KLM flight 1740. Flight time still 42 minutes. Which is almost as long as the flight time between Paris, Charles de Gaulle and Amsterdam. Or London for that matter. For some reason intuitively it feels closer by than Paris, Luxembourg. Interesting. Right. Got another Embraer 175 arriving from Southampton, a bit further to the north. More airplanes are passing by north of me, contrails. So there's one, and there is a second one there. Let's have a look, shall we? That's the furthest one, the faintest. And then move a little bit more up. This one is closer by, also a twin jet, both flying west to east, north of me. So, excellent contrail spotting weather today. While I'm following this airplane, I'm also having a look around, see if there's something coming towards me or if something with 4 engines is flying in the sky close by, behind me perhaps. No. Do get the impression that the wind's picking up, which is not uncommon. As it gets warmer, that the wind also starts picking up. Still moving away from me, from us. Westerly wind. Let's have a look at the weather, the latest METAR in a minute. Here we have KLM flight 916 arriving from Southampton. It is an Embraer A388, flight time 42 minutes. 6-year-old airplane, first flight July 2017. KLM style landing, keeping up the speed, staying on the runway, vacate late, sooner to the gate. Let me in the meantime update the weather, the latest iteration of the METAR, see what the wind is doing. That is particularly what I'm interested in. I mean, it is still KVK, it is going to stay KVK. Seeing also that there are a couple of triples coming this way from the west, that's good news. Got some heavies on arrival for the Polderbaan. Right, METAR copied, paste, adjust the font size and press save. Right. Got an Embraer from KLM coming this way. Let's have a look at the ticker and the weather, shall we? Weather update from 8:55 Zulu time. That is 10:55 Central European time, so that is from half an hour ago. Wind 11 knots, 260 degrees. Variable between 230 degrees and 290 degrees. It is still KVK, 24 degrees Celsius, and the air pressure is 1012 hectopascals. So 260 degrees means a little bit south of pure west. The wind speed has indeed increased, so we do have nice crosswindy conditions today. Now 11 knots is not yet nowhere near full-blown storm, so don't expect any special situations occurring, go-arounds, aborted approaches, stuff like that. Don't think that is going to happen with today's weather. Meanwhile, another departure. Another Delta A330 by the looks of it. Flying to the north, west of me. Maybe just over the sea. Over the coast. Looks like it. And another airplane. Is that for arrival? Where is it? Well, let's focus on what we can see best. That might be an airplane on arrival for center. Going over Amsterdam, then to the north, and then make a left-hand turn, fly base, one more left, and then on final for center. I think that is the approach for center, airplanes to center. Right, flying AMS live logo visible, 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Las Vegas. In Nevada, if I'm not mistaken. Flight time 8 hours and 56 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. Its first flight was in March 2018. Meanwhile, I am getting a notification from PayPal that Anna sent a gift. Thank you so much, Anna. A donation via PayPal. Thank you so much, Anna. And indeed, Danny, viva Las Vegas. Let's have a look. In the distance, we should be seeing KLM flight 736, a 777-300ER arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Let's have a look and see if we can spot it already. With all my reflections, all the reflections on my screen. Oh wait, there it is. I was about to say I have a bit of difficulty with it, but there we go. Hey Martin, goedemorgen. Checking in from Breda. Doe even de groetjes aan Kees. Kees, groetjes van Martin. Als je aan het kijken bent. Let me take this moment to do a bit of hydrating. Got an Embraer 190 arriving from London City behind it. Still have parallel landings in progress. Is that Embraer already visible? Let's have a look on the laptop screen. Just about, a little lower on the left hand side, just left of center. Right. Again, such a shame they have those big engines, they can produce so much noise, but they don't do it nearly enough. Hey Sven, good morning, have a nice day. You too, buddy. Right, here's the next airplane. Got two Embraer 190s coming in, one from London City, one from Bristol. KLM flight 986. Embraer 190 arriving from London City, flight time 37 minutes. The airplane is 11 years old, first flight January 2012. Can we see the next Embraer already? Oh yeah, in the top left. Beautiful. That is KLM flight 1050 arriving from Bristol. Flight time 49 minutes. The airplane is 11 years old, first flight January 2012. and almost missed it. Thank you so much, Alvin, for a pink ice cream cone super sticker. Last day it is still ice cream weather, or at least if we have to believe the weather forecasts. As of tomorrow, cooler weather, more rain. But will winter be coming? Eventually it will. Right, interesting to see that there's an Embraer 175 arriving from Lyon on the glide slope for center, and now also a Transavia 737 arriving from Barcelona has done the same. So what is going to be the next airplane for... Hey, what is that? There is a car driving around here. Let's have a look. Is that an ice cream van? No, what is it? It's not an ambulance, or is it? No, I don't think it is. Never seen that vehicle before here. Looks blocky. Not sure what it is, why it is here. Are they doing a quick runway inspection or something? Let's have a look. So, again, a few moments where we have to wait for the next traffic. I'm curious to see what the 737 arriving from Edinburgh is going to do. Will they direct it to center or to our runway? Nah, it is already at 2,000 feet, so the 737 is coming this way. But they are, for some reason, they have directed traffic to the center runway for a few minutes. I think there is a quad jet flying there. Not sure if we can still see it from over here. Flying west to east mostly, and already quite far north and east of me. Got an airplane a bit closer by. That is moving from northeast to southwest. It's currently east and just a little south of me. Now from this angle I can only see two contrail lines being formed. Not seeing any particular details on the airplane. It's also getting in the vicinity of the sun. Let's see, it is south of me, east of me. It is flying to the west. It's from northeast to southwest. Now the sun is a little bit below. So I'm hoping as it moves away from the sun we can see a bit more detail on the airplane itself. I think it is now nearest by. Still not seeing a lot. It is now south of me, directly south of me. I do see the next airplane for Polderaan in the distance. There we go. Reflections all over. Hey there, William, good morning. And Frank says that that was an A380 from JFK to Dubai. Awesome. Next airplane coming in. KLM flight 1278. 737-800 arriving from Edinburgh. It is on the way now for 57 minutes. It is 22 years old. First flight was November 2000. There's also a helicopter flying off the coast. Oh, that's 550 feet. That is a bit too low. I think will not be able to see that. I'm looking, but not seeing any helicopters left of me. It's probably too low. Right. Also have a moped passing by on the cycling path. Now let's have a look. Another 737 arriving from London Heathrow next. Looks like an Embraer, an E2 Embraer 175 is also coming. All still quiet over at the fire station. Now there was also a windsock in front of it. Yeah, there you can see what the wind is doing. We have some wind from the southwest. Mostly west, a little bit south. So crosswind from the right for airplanes landing. As you can see, parallel arrivals still in progress. Center runway. I'm thinking any minute now they will probably close it again, only to reopen it around 1 p.m. which is 20 minutes before the expected arrival of today's Emirates A380, which will mean, as is almost always the case, that it is going to 18C. You can bet money on it with a high degree of certainty. In the meantime, if anybody wants an ice cream, now the SOB is just passing by. And also not playing the ice cream van tune. Is it setting up shop over at the parking further north, south? I think it might be. Now that helicopter is turning and is now flying over the North Sea Canal north of us. Would be nice to see if it is coming our way later. So we might pick it up on the camera. Now, 2 airplanes, 0 choppers, or are you guys seeing something that I'm not seeing? Hey, yeah, maybe. I think in the bottom of the screen that might be the helicopter, in fact. It is the helicopter. Surprised I'm able to see it, but there you go. So that is the Coast Guard chopper. Flying at 500 feet. Oh, it's the police helicopter. Right. NGC4 Leonardo AW139. Well, also a bizjet or something. Flying not seeing it. If it's not producing a contrail, it's nearly impossible to see unless it is really up close and big in the sky. Reflections all over all screens. Alvin asks if I can hear the rumble of the chopper. I cannot, unfortunately. Ooh, quad jet nearby, west to east, south of me, north of me, close by. That looks like an Emirates A380. Let me have a look on my laptop screen. Yeah, that's an A380, unmistakably. Now I'm not able to see your comments right now. Remember, my phone is attached to the back of my camera. Camera pointing up means phone pointing to the ground. Shall I try? Let me see. Follow with my left hand. Oh shit, no. I was about to say, can I go into the menu, enable digital zoom, see if I can zoom in a bit further, but I would have to enable that so that I can do that next time one is passing by. Let me also have a quick look on the laptop screen myself. Oh yeah, nice. Even make out the logo on the tail. Can even see that on my little screen over here. Now, for your frame of reference, this is quite nearby in the sky for me. As in, this is to the east, it is just a little bit north of me. So if you say, oh, there's an A380 passing by in the vicinity of Den Helder in the north of North Holland, I will not be able to see that. So this is about what is optimal for me to see. And that is an A380 from Houston to Dubai. Nice. Got K2 passing by over here very slowly. The chap gave me a wave. Another Raptor Ranger patrolling. And an Embraer butt shot. Now, let's have a look. What is cooking? So far, narrow bodies. Hey Rick, goedemorgen. Gaat goed, dank je. Little bit of wind over here, very nice. We also have something coming this way, by the looks of it, from the direction of Frankfurt. Twin jet. On track to pass just a little north of me, by the looks of it. That is also going to be a nearby pass once it gets closer by. While we have more Embraers landing on the ground, I'm hoping this is a bit of a nice change of scenery for you guys. I personally find filming Embraer after Embraer a bit tedious at some point after so many. I'm hearing, is that a private airplane I'm hearing? Sounds like a Cessna or something. Maybe something is flying over Schiphol. Oh yeah, there is. But it's not producing a contrail, it is very minute. I think it's going to be very difficult to film it for you guys. Oh, there's also something coming from the northeast directly towards me. Almost perpendicular to where this airplane is flying to. Meanwhile, this airplane is showing more details as it gets closer by. Still not able to make out what it is precisely. And there is... where is it? In the bottom of the screen? Can you guys see it? There's a second contrail. Oh, it is still further down. Okay, well, let me show you later then. This is now as close by as this airplane is going to get, I think. Is that a Dreamliner? At least it doesn't say any logo. It doesn't have any logo on the bottom by the looks of it. Oh, it's busy over here in the air. Have a look. So we have that one. And we have a second one over here. And more interestingly, this one is also coming my way. This one is approaching from the northeast. So this one is moving almost over me right now from the northeast to the southwest. I think my camera is going to halt going up further any minute now. Yeah, there it is. The locking point, 90 degrees upward. Right, time to go down again. Oh, and we have another one approaching. It is so busy over here right now in the sky. Well, it's normally busy, but now we can see them all. That's Embraer 175 arriving from Humberside. KLM flight 1486. Right, Contrails all over, but there's also more traffic coming to the Polderbaan, so let's have a look at that also, shall we? Also, I think I need to update the ticker because I don't see any traffic going to center anymore for landing, so I'm assuming it is going to be used for departures in a minute. Departures 18C and arrivals just 18 right then. Or will they also be using 09? Let's have a look. Runway usage app. No, it's all north-south still. This is an inland relocation flight from Corendon Airlines. Which is being flown from Eindhoven to Amsterdam. The alert is saying that there is a KLM Cargo 747 expected in 20 minutes. That is good news because that is very likely going to land on this runway. Not expecting that center will reopen for arrivals just yet. Now let's have a look. Got two Embraers coming this way. The helicopter, the police helicopter, is at 1,000 foot right now, near the Westport area, so might be visible to the eye. Oh yeah, I think I have it. It is moving this direction a little bit. Embraer 190, by the way. German Airways flying for KLM. Arriving from Glasgow. Flight 1474. Flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes. Oh. Not sure what the helicopter is doing. It is hovering above the Westport area right now. Very minor detail in the sky. But there you go. That's the police helicopter. And this is Embraer 175. KLM flight 1442 arriving from Aberdeen. Flight time 1 hour and 13 minutes. 5-year-old airplane. Clearly see how the footage is becoming a bit more shaky. That has to do with the wind. Mr. Mark Wild, good afternoon. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Christine, good afternoon. Let's have a look. Right. Got some big birds approaching finally, or at least one. Did I speak too soon? No, also a Dreamliner arriving from Tel Aviv from El Al. Let's have a look and see how much we can see of it in the distance already. Let's have a look. A couple of airplanes are on the glide slope now. Embraer 190 and two 737-800s. Can we see the third one also? Yeah, we can. That's good news. Visualization of the glide slope. Coming in first, KLM flight 1820, arriving from Berlin. Embraer 190. Flight time 59 minutes. 9-year-old airplane. First flight February 2014. Stone Slab Island still status quo, not much change. Now, got a 737-800 coming in from London Heathrow next. Wind's picking up a little bit. Behind it we see the 787-10 Dreamliner from KLM arriving from Panama City. KLM flight 1008 minutes, which is typical for London to Amsterdam. I was curious to see how full these airplanes actually are. There are so many of them. Are they all filled to the brim? What's the occupation rate on these flights? I see we have another blue spanner in the chat. Yorkshire, good morning, mate. Hope all is well. Next up, KLM flight 758, Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Panama City. The airplane is underway now for 9 hours and 41 minutes. The airplane is 3 years old. Its first flight December 2019. Doing not too bad over here, Yorkshire. Got a nice refreshing breeze over here from the west. Makes a world of difference. And we have one contrail and another one making a turn, but I'm not seeing it. This one is coming my way, is on a south to north course, so maybe heading to Scandinavia or something. It is still south of me and a little bit west of me. It's moving to the north, maybe a little bit to the east. Beautiful heads up view. No, head on view? Yeah, head on view. Almost in the zenith, and this is probably, yeah, this is where the tripod gives in. Now, where are the cables oriented? How are they oriented? Like so. So moving away from me to the north. Has just passed directly over me. Now I'm having difficulties with reflections, but there it is again. Now flying north of me. I would say it looks like a Dreamliner based on the shape of the wings, but not sure. Also flying a little bit lower. And just taken off is this 737? Question mark? Not sure. All right. It is busy in the sky over here. Also have a beautiful airplane that just passed south of me. Whoa, whoa. Well, now things get untangled. Oh, let's see. Right, let's have a look, shall we? That was the HDMI cable coming undone. Let me also fix the power cable, tripped over my wires. As I was trying to film one of the many airplanes passing over. Is the audio good? Can you still hear everything? I think so. Nothing, just a cable that came loose. We should be okay still. Right, here we have an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Leeds. Flight time 46 minutes. Airplane age 1 year, first flight February 2022. It is a beautiful day to spot contrails. We have a great many. We have the one that I was trying to point the camera towards that has now passed by in the meantime. Looks like it was on its way from Frankfurt to somewhere in the United States. We also have another one a little bit more over here. Also moving to the northwest, is already northwest of me. Now I'm also seeing a big bird further up on the glide slope of the Polderbaan, so untangling all the wires again. Let's have a look first at the Embraer 175 that is arriving from Darlington. Oh. And hey there, Gin Cathay spotter. Didn't spot you there earlier. Good to see you again, buddy. Hope all is well. Here we have El Al flight 337 arriving from Tel Aviv, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner, flight time 4 hours 14 minutes. The airplane is 4 years old. Its first flight was in October 2018. Wind is definitely picking up a little bit. Let me also have a check of the METAR in a few minutes. Alright, Southern is informing us that the A380 is expected 5 minutes 25 past 1. I think there are some coots over there in the water. Yeah, I'm seeing white beaks. Also go to manual focus, get everything sharp. That's a group of coots. So we've seen a group of ducks before, now the group of coots also visible. The only thing missing thus far is the grebes. We haven't seen them. Maybe we will later. First, let's see if we are going to see a wheelie and hear some nice reverser action. This is Delta Airlines Flight 164 arriving from Minneapolis. It is an Airbus A330. It is underway now for 7 hours and 13 minutes. The airplane is 20 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in August of the year 2003. Right, that definitely did not disappoint in the audio department, if you ask me. Next up, Emirates Sky Cargo, flight 9989, which is arriving from Dubai. It is a 777 freighter, flight time 6.5 hours. And behind it, look at that, Her Majesty the Queen. Beautiful KLM Cargo arriving from Nairobi, if I'm not mistaken. I think I might also have to enable image stabilizer just to get rid of most of the shakiness. There we go. it's not mitigating all of the wind. That's not good. It's like we're on a ship in a storm with the overcorrection vertically. We'll weather it. Got it disabled again, the image stabilizer. Right, here we have her, the queen of the day. Well, we did have another 747, but it landed on center. This one, the first on Polderbaan. KLM Cargo, operated by Martin and Orland, flight 8562, arriving from Nairobi. It is underway now for 8 hours and 8 minutes. Boeing 747-400 freighter, ER. She's 20 years old. Her first flight, March 2003. Hey there, Fred. Good evening. Perfect timing. Awesome. That was a beautiful landing, wasn't it? Not the loudest, but definitely a pretty one. That was it for Mrs. Professor Bedtime. Thank you for joining. Sleep tight. See you soon. Right. She's vacated the runway just in time for the next airplane to arrive. Embraer 190 arriving from Stuttgart. And there is an A320 after it. That is still flying towards the glide slope. Maybe we get to see it in the distance. Not sure if we can already. Probably not, just a little bit too far out still. Now, we did see a record long wheelie from an Embraer pilot earlier in the stream. If you missed it, I am going to highlight it, timestamp it after I'm done with the stream. So if you want to look it back, definitely come back tonight or in, what is it, 6 hours or so from now. You can go to the clip immediately. It was very impressive. I don't think we've seen any longer on the channel, in fact. It was definitely a record long wheelie. And from an Embraer no less. Very impressive. Now we're waiting for an A320. I think I just saw the approach lights go on. Is it there? I think it is. Shamrock. Flight 604 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. A320, flight time an hour and a minute. 23 years old, first flight May 2000. Now the next airplane is going to be an E2 Embraer 195, but that is still further to the north and also further to the east. Not seeing it just yet. Let me have a quick look at the METAR, see what the wind is doing. I do see some interesting airplanes approaching from the west. Looking on flight radar on the laptop. Right, 2509 knots. So the wind has not changed significantly since the latest, the previous update. In fact, the wind has gone down a little bit. 9 knots now, it was 11 knots earlier. There we go. Let's also do a quick bit of hydrating. Now, somewhere in the north, from the right, there should be an E2 Embraer 195. Now, can't see that much on my screen out here. Reflections all over. Not seeing anything on the laptop either. Alright, now was quite busy in the air earlier. Now looking around, I'm not seeing that much. I do see that a vehicle has in the meantime parked on the other side. What is that? Oh, that's to clean the sewage drains, right? With one of those hoses on the back that they can put in the sewage, I think. Right, still crosswindy conditions over here. Let me fixate the tripod at least. Got an E2 Embraer 195 coming this way. KLM flight 1620, E2 Embraer 195, flight time an hour and 20 minutes. 2-year-old airplane, first flight April 2021. Alright, now we have one little contrail in the sky that I can see right now. Flying a little bit north of me. Looks like it is moving from the northwest to the southeast. Let's see. There it is. It is moving directly north of me right now and is moving to the southwest. More west than southwest, I think. Let's see, now swiveling the LCD screen up makes the reflections only worse. Dreadful conditions in that respect. Overcast conditions have the upshot of not having so many reflections on screens. Definitely something I look forward to, having better visibility on everything. EasyJet A320 having arrived from Edinburgh, and next up is going to be a Boeing 737-800 from Transavia, arrival from Palma de Mallorca. A bit more higher up. Is that also an airplane in the distance? And yeah, it is. 777-300 ER arrival from Vancouver, Canada. Just lowered the landing gear. Is there more in the distance? Well, there is a 737-700 behind the triple, but I doubt we can see. Oh yeah, we do. Have to look on my laptop screen, hold my hand on the side to make sure there's no reflection on my face. Man, I really think they should build some small houses here where you can film from inside, having no reflections everywhere. Nice power supply. That would be terrific. But then again, then you will not be able to see the contrails as well as they are visible today. So maybe you have to take the bitter with the sweet. Angela is longing for the snow. Well, to tell you the truth, me too. Looking forward to doing some skiing again sometime soon, hopefully. Cooler weather, also nice, particularly during the night. I see a lot of people agreeing. Sun is good, but it is a bit overkill, or it has been a bit of overkill. Then again, I think we cannot complain. We haven't had major forest fires, hailstones with 10 plus centimeter diameter or anything. Definitely could have been more extreme. This is KLM flight 682, arriving from Vancouver, Canada. 777-300 ER, flight time 8 hours 45 minutes. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in January 2021. Alrighty, now next up is a KLM Boeing 737-700, and after that another pencil from Iceland. Now where is that? Oh, there it is. At the moment the sun is directly behind me, so even though I have an LCD hood over the camera screen with direct sunlight from behind, it is still hard to see. Even worse on my phone. Luckily they do have the lights on. And I can also hold my hand in front of the LCD a little bit. Where is that pencil? Is it visible already? Let me have a look on the big screen. Oh yeah, in the top left, vaguely visible, but there it is. The Boeing 757 arriving from Iceland. Still a lot of shakiness, maybe. Let's try image stabilizer again. See if it mitigates it a bit more. Right, KLM flight 1186, Boeing 737-700, arriving from Bergen, flight time 1 hour and 20 minutes. The airplane 12 years old, first flight February 2011. Let's see, there it is. Up next, Icelandair flight 500, Boeing 757-200, arriving from Reykjavik, flight time at the moment 2 hours 35 minutes, 23-year-old airplane, first flight August 2000. After that, a 777-200 arriving from Lima in Peru, visible left of the 757. Gear still up, but is it lowering? Not yet visible. Old school narrow body, after that 2 wide bodies, the 777, and behind it was an A330neo I just saw. Hey Marco, goedemiddag. Indeed, polderbaan. Two airplanes visible, 777 in the foreground, A330neo in the background. Sander says that the A380 is entering German airspace, so it is expected in just under an hour from now. Seems to be on course still. This is KLM flight 744, which is a Boeing 777-200 ER, arriving from Lima in Peru. This airplane is now underway for 11 hours and 52 minutes, nearly half a day. She is 17 years old. First flight was in February 2006. So much reverser potential wasted. It's always a shame to see. Still a beautiful landing. Not as long a wheelie as we've seen with that one Embraer, but definitely a nice landing nonetheless. Also another departure to the north. KLM, it looks like a 7, no. It's not an A330. Let me have a look. It is an A330. Going to India. Cool. As we lower the camera, we have another landing that has the potential to get loud. If it is going to get loud, time will tell. We'll find out soon enough. This is Delta Airlines flight 160, Airbus A330neo, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Flight time right now 7 hours and 7 minutes. The airplane is brand new, meaning less than a year old, and its first flight was in June this year. Now, looks like we are in for a few heavy arrivals, which is nice. We've had to weather a lot of Embraer, so I think we're overdue a few heavies. The next airplane to arrive, KLM flight 755, 777-200 ER, arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador, flight time 11 hours and 6 minutes. The airplane is 19 years old, first flight was in January 2004. Behind it is a Delta Airbus A330, and two airplanes behind it is an Etihad 777. But will it go to our runway or will they reopen the center runway in the meantime? It seems appropriate that we are not going to see the Etihad up close. Then again, it is not 1 o'clock yet. Typically open up center again around 1. So who knows? I think the Etihad triple is coming our way. That is nice. So we are going to see a Delta A330-300 next. Then a narrow body, then another triple from Etihad. Here we go. Now, all of a sudden, activity in the chat. JD gifting an AMS Live membership. Thank you so much for that, JD. And Afrodita also, thank you for your super chat. Saying 300 likes. Thank you all so much. Hope you guys are having fun. It's a bit difficult seeing everything here today. Reflections all over. So I hope you guys are still seeing everything all right on the screen you guys are looking at. This is Delta Airlines Flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington. A little bit of everything, a little wheelie, a little bit of reverser. Neither of the two very explicit, unfortunately. Hey Tim, goedemiddag. Now looking, pointing the camera in this direction, I can read everything very clearly, luckily. Let's see, next up we have a Vueling A320 arriving from Alicante, and after that we have an Etihad 777. So let's turn back the camera to the north. Have a look and see. Right, got both planes in sight, I believe. This is a bit hazy, it seems like. Normally you would see that plane in the background better if it were fully free of moisture in the air. And Marco, I think you are right. Normally around 1 o'clock is when they open up center for arrivals, so won't be long, I think. Got a Vueling up next. Flight 1377 arriving from Alicante. Flight 1377, flight time 2 hours 11 minutes. 15-year-old airplane, first flight November 2007. No, not too thrilled with the footage with image stabilizer on. Let me go back to disabling it once more, see what difference it makes. Etihad Cargo, flight 913 coming this way, arriving from Abu Dhabi, is underway now for 6 hours and 23 minutes. It is a 777 freighter, FFX it says, not sure what that all means. Freighter FX. The airplane is 7 years old, first flight February 2016. always like the livery, I think it looks pretty. But the landing was not that much to write home about. The ETA of the A380, 24 minutes past 1, says Liwe, thank you for that. Hey, is this the... Yeah, I already saw that there was a special livery from Lot coming this way today. I was already wondering, did it land on 18C earlier in the morning? Did not recall the exact estimated time of arrival, so I wasn't sure if it had landed already, but I'm happy to see that it is going to land over here in a few minutes. Lot flight 263, Embraer 195, a regular Embraer 195. Arriving from Warsaw, flight time 1 hour and 42 minutes right now. The airplane 12 years old, first flight August 2011, and it is in the Śliwka Nałęczowska livery. Any Polish viewers who are now agitated because of my poor pronunciation, don't be mad, please. Meanwhile, quick sip of water. I think that's fruit on the back of the fuselage. At least it's supposed to depict fruit. At least that's how I interpret the painting, or whatever you would want to call it. Right, next up, KLM flight 1598. 737-900, arriving from Rome. Nearly 2 hours of flight time, 1 hour and 54 minutes. That is interesting. Now I'm also seeing that the footage is still very much shaky in this angle. Then again, it was also shaky with image stabilizer enabled. Let's have a look. Hey, Delta A330-200 coming in. I cannot recall having seen them that often. Most of them are 300s, right? Or the occasional Neo. Meanwhile, the Kudos are in the grass on the other side. Over there it looks like. Also nibbling on grass or something in the grass. Haven't seen any grebes yet. Still don't see them. There's one Kudos in the water over here. And on the other side we still have, I think it were ducks sitting over there on the concrete. Wind is picking up. You can see more waviness in the water. And the next airplane to arrive, Air Transat, arriving from Toronto. The A321neo. touching down after 6 hours and 39 minutes of flight. 6 hours and 39 minutes sitting in a narrow body single aisle airplane. Has anybody ever looked at how much cheaper the transatlantic flights from Air Transat are compared with the competition? Now, let's quickly turn around. A330-200 Delta Airlines. Flight 136 arriving from Detroit. 6 hours and 48 minutes of flight time. The airplane 17 years old. That's better. Indeed, better than the last Delta, I agree. Now, let's see what is up in the pipeline. Narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies. Got another Icelandair coming in, but that is a MAX 8, so that is one in their new livery. Seems like we've got all sorts of 737s and A320 family members coming in next. Let's have a look, shall we? Up next, KLM Flight 1354, 737-700 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Can we see the next airplanes already? Yeah, one, top left. Alright, JD has to go, back to work. Thanks for joining during the lunch break, JD. Enjoy the rest of your day. Now, as you guys can see, we have crosswind. Wind is blowing from the southwest. The airplanes are landing from north to south. Crosswind from right to left. Phenomenon. We see a lot over here, a lot of the wind. A lot of the times the wind, the prevailing wind is from the west or southwest over here in the Netherlands. Is something you see very often. Peter did some research. About 300 euros one way Toronto Amsterdam. Pretty good price, but nothing included. Yeah. Then again, if it is a return and you have to pay 600, that is not that much cheaper than using another carrier, isn't it? Alright, next up, EasyJet A320neo arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Not seeing anything in the distance. Crouching behind the laptop screen. So this is EasyJet flight 27882 arriving from Palma de Mallorca. 2 hours and 6 minutes of flight time. Brand new airplane. According to Flight Radar, that means less than a year old, and its first flight was in December last year. Vueling A320 arriving from Valencia coming up next. And I think in the top left we should be able to see the next airplane, however a bit vague. That is a 737 from KLM arriving from Madrid. Now in the foreground we have flight 8353 arriving from Valencia. Flight time 1 hour and 58 minutes. The airplane is 8 years old. First flight was in April 2015. Good afternoon to Sunil. And next up will be a Boeing 737-800 arriving from Madrid, KLM flight 1700. A319 from Top Air Portugal behind it, arriving from Lisbon. Hey there, Pyro team! Glad you're enjoying the stream. Always nice if you aren't able to make it to be able to see it at least via the internet. Now, the Kudos have all chosen to go into the water. It seems like for the rest, not much has changed over here. Behind me, still the two ducks at the concrete slab. I think Sally the seagull is sitting over there. Haven't seen Russell anymore and his bros. And a quick look towards the west does seem to indicate some cloudiness over sea. Maybe that is the weather change coming slowly but surely to the mainland. Top Air Portugal, flight 674, arriving from Lisbon. Flight time 2 hours and 24 minutes. 23-year-old airplane. First flight November 1999, a millennial. And a Portuguese butt shot coming in. There you go. Danny asks, is it correct that planes landing at the Polderbaan must taxi for 4 kilometers? Well, if it is, whether it is 4 kilometers exactly, I don't know, but it is a significant time to taxi back to the gate. These airplanes have to taxi all the way along this path that you see in the distance. In fact, you can see an airplane taxi along it. So that is First they have to vacate the runway, then they have to go left, past the tower. So take a left-hand turn and go behind the fire station and the tower, all the way along the line of trees. And over here, if you look in between the trees, behind it you can see where the main platform area and the gates are. So definitely a 10 to 15 minute taxi from where they are over here. And Tiger asks, is there actually a visitor platform at the airport? There is, definitely. Well indicated as well. So if you ever are at Schiphol and you have been through the checks, or you're on this side, if you're on land side, not air side, then you can find the panorama rooftop terrace signs everywhere, indicating where you need to go to have a look at the airplanes up close. And hey there, Shirley, who is tuning in from Waukesha. Is that how you pronounce it? In Wisconsin. Love the show. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for the compliment. Glad you're enjoying, and I hope everybody is. We're sticking around until the daily A380 has landed from Emirates. First, this airplane, the Embraer 175, KLM Flight 1444, arriving from Aberdeen. Flight time is 1 hour and 8 minutes. The airplane is 7 years old. First flight March 2016. Well, Tiger, whenever you are at Schiphol and you're in the main terminal building and you're on land side, it is very well indicated, and if not, you can always ask for directions. Most people, particularly security people, will be able to tell you where you need to go to. Benny has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Benny. Ah, indeed, Danny already has seen it. There is a real Fokker on the platform. Then he even knows that it is a 100. I always am confused. Is it a 100 or a 70? It's one of the... It's not the 50. That was the turboprop edition. Vueling, flight 8309, arriving from Barcelona. A320, flight time 1 hour and 45 minutes. 16-year-old airplane, first flight March 2007. And they are using it, the reverser. So nice to hear that functionality being used also by smaller airplanes for a change. Spanish butt shot coming in. Will we be able to see the flaps retract? I think they are doing that just now. Yeah, so spoilers down, flaps retracted before making the right hand turn. Nicely in time, beautiful. Next up we've got Air France flight 1640, arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, but not one of the A320s or A319s or 18s. It is an A220, which began its life as a Bombardier C series. Hence, if you look in flight radar, you can see BCS3 or BCS1, meaning it is an A220 as they're called these days, 100 or 300. 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 Flight time for this airplane 44 minutes. Brand new. First flight was made this year. Pretty aircraft. You can definitely see the Bombardier BizJet heritage in the lines and the sleek appearance. Although, it has to be said, the A350, a thoroughbred Airbus, is I think also the first one that I find aesthetically pleasing. Aero Mexico coming in. Standard livery, unfortunately, not the Quetzalcoatl. Flight 25, the daily flight between Mexico City and Amsterdam. Boeing 7878. 10 hours and 1 minute of flight time right now. The airplane is 9 years old. First flight February 2014. Oh, indeed, Otto. I think you're right. Looks like Buitenvelderbaan is now being used for landings as a secondary runway. 27. You can rest assured that ATC is going to direct the A380 to that runway then. Very high probability. Man, that is a bit of a bummer, because from over here you cannot see that much from landing traffic on runway 27. Man, okay, so runway 27 now used for landing. Let me adjust that. Also, thank you so much, Edward, for becoming a member just now. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge and thank you for your support. So that does mean that the A380 is going to runway 27 then. Where is it? Let me also have a look on flight radar. Is it in Dutch airspace already? Yeah, it has entered Dutch airspace near Almelo now. Okay. For the secondary runways, they could open. This one is the worst. At least it is not extremely densely fogged, but you won't be able to see as much of it as when standing or when it's landing on the center runway, I should say. EasyJet A319 arriving from Milan. There we go. Air France op flight 1820 arriving from Marseille. Embraer 170, flight time 1 hour and 35 minutes. The airplane is 13 years old, first flight June 2010. There is an Embraer 190 doing a short circuit, short traffic pattern, arriving from the west on the base leg. I'm looking to see if I can see it already, but not seeing it yet. So let's first focus on this airplane landing. Photo bomb by a VW van. Not really sure what they are doing. Hey, for a moment I was in the shade, and we are seeing forming all of a sudden, so the weather change is definitely upon us. Also, when fully zoomed out, looking to the west, you could already see some cloudiness over sea. It now also seems to be stretching land inward if you look to the north. There's an Embraer 190 in the distance that is turning onto the glide slope. Can we see it? Should be entering the field of view from the left. Let me maybe zoom out a little bit. Alright, I do see it. It has turned onto the glide slope already. Fake light. Where is it? A bit higher. There it is. Too bad that we didn't see the Hey, why is that airplane red? Huh? Did I do something? I did something on Flight Radar. Now all of a sudden the label is red. What did I do? That is weird. Right. Embraer 190 arriving from Toulouse. KLM flight 1302. Flight time 1 hour and 24 minutes. The airplane is 13 years old. First flight August 2010. I think they might do some maintenance on that pole over here. Seen that happen before? And it is already overcast in Leiden, Paul is saying. So yeah, that is definitely something I can see from over here. Definitely more cloudiness, both north of me and south of me, it looks like. We still have decent visibility to the east. Let me also try to get my bearings in for airplanes landing. Let's see. I think it was over here somewhere that we began seeing the airplanes, already quite low. At the moment not seeing any airplanes. The first airplane is an Embraer 175 arriving from Düsseldorf, which is not only small but also still a bit further out. Hey there, Alan. Thank you for saying hi and for your kind words. come the A380. I'll have another look. That is at least tremendously bigger than an Embraer. Easier to spot in the distance. Is there anything big preceding it? Let's see, where is it? Okay, now flying over Lelystad, so that means we still have a few minutes. And they are indeed doing some checks on that pole that is always in the foreground. Not sure what it is. Is that a light? Is that radar? Will make for a nice contrasty shot. I do get the impression that it is getting a bit more hazy, or is that just me? Even with image stabilizer enabled, it is still very shaky footage. Let's also lock the tripod then. Hey, all of a sudden I'm standing in shade. So, weather change definitely occurring. EasyJet A319 arriving from Manchester. 48 minutes of flight time, 15 years old. First flight was in June 2008. Once again, see if I can spot the traffic going to 27 from over here. Ah, I do see something. Let's see, that is... where is it? Still... but just below the kite. Oh man, hazy. Hazy. Okay, so... going back, that would mean... yeah, somewhere over there. Alright, got my bearings. Know where I need to look for the A380 in a few minutes. Now, bit difficult to have flight radar zoomed out enough so that I can also see where the A380 is and also see what is going on over here at Polderbaan. Got a BizJet coming in, arriving from Manchester, Arcus Air. Let's have a look, see if I can spot it for you guys. Not yet seeing it. Arcus Air. Embraer Phenom 100. Very faint. All right. BizJet, Arcus Air, arriving from Manchester, Embraer Phenom 100. 13 years old, first flight January 2010. Interesting to see that it is using this runway and not landing on the Schiphol Oostbaan, although it would be crossing with runway 27 then, but why not land on runway 27 then? Well, this is of course the first glide slope you will come across. Keep the camera fully zoomed in. No need to zoom out for this little bit, for this little thingy. Maybe just a little bit as it passes by, but man, that's a tiny airplane. Mind you, it will probably still set you back a couple of million. Is what I'm thinking. You probably won't be buying these for cheap. Right, A380 is now in the vicinity of the Amsterdam metropolitan area, so let's focus on that. I think we need to point the camera somewhere in this general direction to pick it up the soonest. Let me see, got the camera pointed over there, got my frame of reference on the ground. Still a bit out, but it is the next airplane for runway 27. It's also going to be the last airplane for the day. A bit of a disappointing finale with the A380 landing on the wrong runway. Then again, we did catch it twice on the right runway, while also standing nearly below the runway. Alright, it is approaching Buitenveldert, which is also the part of Amsterdam after which the runway it is about to land on is named after. The part south of the A10 highway, but before Amstelveen starts, is called Buitenveldert. Similarly, the Kaag is a little village nearby where I live. Also great for sailing on the lakes over there. There's also a yacht builder over there. You can sometimes see the biggest of yachts parked over there. Also, quick detour to Harry, who is also back. And I think I have the A380 in sight, so let me go back to showing you it. Let's see, where is the kite? Kite is over there. A380 is over there. Now, as you guys can see, it is hazy. It is far away. It is the daily Emirates flight 147 arriving from Dubai. Number 6 worldwide, most tracked. Airbus A380 800. Flight time 6.5 hours. Precisely. And this is also the last bit that you can see from over here, unfortunately. So yeah, that was it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a letdown seeing the A380 go to 27, but there you go. Can't have it all day, every day. Still, was nice while it lasted. I had great fun and I hope you guys did too. Looking forward to seeing you again on the next one, which is probably going to be Thursday, weather permitting. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who was so kind to donate super chats, super stickers, super likes. Become a member, donate memberships, donate through PayPal, or maybe buy something in the merch store. Your support means the world to me. The channel wouldn't be anything without you guys, so thank you all so much for your continued support. Thanks to all the moderators for keeping the chat a friendly place. Once again, be safe. Looking forward to seeing you again later in the week. For now, I'm gonna say goodbye, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.